Hi, welcome back to Fresh Faces New Ideas. My name is David. If you're new to the channel or you like the channel, please like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all my videos and when I go live on Fridays. You can also follow me on Twitter at Faces Ideas. Now, this video we're going to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene, but not any of the legislation she's pushed out to. This is about her clout chasing. So let's take a look at what she said and we're going to discuss how absurd these things are. So, Marjorie Taylor Greene challenged AOC to a debate on the Green New Deal. So the Green New Deal is a policy something that AOC was one of the co-sponsors for. She was basically the lead for it. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is somebody who has basically no power. She's going to make a whole bunch of statements about it that are just inaccurate, just in general, because she doesn't generally understand what government does. It has a very loose grasp of things in general. So this is actually a pretty similar thing to a bunch of other Republicans. A lot of Republicans do things, tweet at AOC or say things about AOC to get clout. Ben Shapiro did it. He challenged her to a debate, and Ted Cruz tweets at her all the time because he's just doing it for clout chasing. And a lot of what Republicans also push for is they're just trying to own the libs. Unfortunately, she's smarter than all of them. It's not unfortunate. So she wants to make this pay-per-view. So let's talk about what the Green New Deal is. The things you're going to hear from somebody like AOC, someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, take away your airplane rights. You'll hear them confiscating cars. You will hear them say that they're going to remove ice cream, cheeseburgers, and milkshakes because livestock will be banned. None of those things. But most importantly, what you're going to hear is it's going to cost the U.S. government $100 trillion. Now, this number, I don't think I've covered it here. I've covered it on my podcast, is just blatantly not true. So part of what the $100 trillion number came from is one think tank. And it came from this idea that it would encompass Medicare for all, which is not true. First, they also tagged it at $32 trillion. So the other thing you have to understand about this $100 trillion number is it's over 10 years. So we're looking at a $10 trillion a year. Then you have to take away the $3.2 trillion because that's not an accurate number for the Green New Deal. And like I believe I've talked about, and I definitely have spoken on the podcast, there's overwhelming data, including from the Koch brothers, that the Green New Deal will actually save America money, about $2 trillion over our current healthcare system. They also put in it that by raising the minimum wage, the U.S. government will be responsible for covering every single person whose wage is raised. There's just a whole lot of numbers just aren't accurate in this $100 trillion number. They just aren't. It is an absurd thing. The other thing they don't talk about is the jobs that this is going to create. Similar to Biden's, this is the other thing they're going to do. They're going to compare it to Biden's infrastructure, saying it's a Green New Deal. It's not that. What the Green New Deal calls for is a reimagining of how we deal with climate. It says we need to put more into green energy. We need to rebuild houses. We need to rebuild roads. It's pushing to make it so that when the environment goes bad, because as it is going bad based on climate change, the weather will get worse and areas will become uninhabitable, and we will deal with climate refugees, and it's a major world shifting event. However, the world will not end. Let's be clear about that. But humanity may be unable to live on Earth anymore. So this is a bold idea of how to attack this. That's what the Green New Deal is. And this idea that AOC has to argue with Marjorie Taylor Greene to get this passed is absurd. So no Republican will support this. Very few Democrats will support this because a lot of the Democratic Party does not fight for the right things that they should have as powerfully as they should. But they're just going to use this as a scaremongering tactic. So when you hear people talk about the Green New Deal, say, oh, they're coming to tear down your houses, to take your cheeseburgers. Now, this cheeseburger line came from, they sent out a fact thing, and it was like a page long, and it was like they botched this rollout of what the Green New Deal is supposed to be. So there's not really legislation that's in depth about it. So, look, let's just wrap this up. Look, Marjorie Taylor Greene should not be in Congress, but she will probably remain in Congress because of how gerrymandered her district is. She does not have any power. The reason she has no power is because she was thrown off of her committees, because she actively said that the people she works with should be killed, among a dozen other conspiracy theories. She has proven time and time again she doesn't understand how government works. That should be a prerequisite to be in government, that you know how it works. It's not. I'm not advocating for it to be one, although it just sounds like that. There should not be barriers to being in government besides being voted in by the people and whatever the age requirements are for different things. But she does not know what she's talking about. She is a dangerous person because of how crazy and the things she believes is. This idea that AOC should debate her is absurd. You're going to hear people saying, oh, she's afraid to debate. It's not that. It's not worth her time to have an argument with somebody who's going to be disingenuous and not actually have a true statement and understanding of what the arguments are. Same thing with people like Ben Shapiro. It's worth mentioning how popular AOC is, and these people go after her for the clout. They go after her to be more popular. And it's also worth mentioning that a lot of the Republicans believe that the current way to keep their power is to just own the libs. And that's all they want to do. So, I hope she doesn't take it up. I would like somebody else to take up Marjorie Taylor Greene. I know there are people who've offered. Dave Wasserman, I believe, offered. Because I'm pretty sure anyone with just a basic understanding of the Green New Deal with a couple hours to study would have a better argument than whatever she came up with. So, thank you for watching. If you like this channel, if you want to stay in touch with more of my content, please like and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter @FacesIdeas, and I will see you in the next one.